Hi, and welcome to Web Development. My name is Bernice. I am a full stack web developer. I have finished a web development, Bachelor of Science in Web Development recently, and I am going through all of my courses that I did beginning with HTML, CSS, which is what we first did. And I also have a Master of Science in Computer Information Systems and a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. But this is my most recent degree, so this is what I am starting with. And so this is where we're starting the first 3 weeks. We did HTML, and this week is CSS. So CSS is cascading style sheets. We'll look at what is CSS, where is CSS located, how is the CSS precedence determined, CSS components, and HTML elements versus CSS properties. So CSS is cascading style sheets. It's used to style the layout of HTML elements. So the HTML page provides the structure and the content, and then CSS styles it. It selects the HTML elements, or it can also select the elements with their IDs or class, and then applies colors such as basic or styles such as colors, spacing, fonts, and positioning. Inline CSS is directly in the opening HTML tag, and it uses the style attribute. The internal CSS is inside the head element and it's inside a style tag, a style element. The external link is inside the head element, and it links to an external CSS file. So it may be style.css, styles.css, or it could have different names, but it's a .css file that is external. So the precedence is inline is going to be the highest precedence. So if you have CSS in all three locations for, say, the H1 heading, if we had it inline, if we had it in the internal, and we also had it in the external, it would the one that would win would be the inline. That's going to have the highest precedence. It's closest to that element. And then if second, like if there was no inline, if it was just internal and external, the internal would win. And then the external is the lowest precedence there. If you have an ID or class rule, it's going to take precedence over the selector rule. So if we gave like a H2 heading, we had a rule for that. And then we also had a specific H2 heading that we gave it to an ID or class for. It's going to go with the one for its specific ID or class. And then there can be you could have a main section that would set the rules for that, and everything inside that would follow those rules if you had paragraphs or headings. But then if you made a more specific rule, that would take precedence. So if you then made a rule for the P for the paragraph, then that would take precedence over the main section's rules. And then if you had like different rules within, say, the external file, if you had the rule for an element that was listed a couple times, say, for various different reasons, the last one would take precedence. So if we first said H2 would be red, and then later on we said it's going to be blue, then the last one would win in that case. That's just a few examples there. So it's just something to be aware of, that there are different precedence rules. So the CSS components, the selectors, the properties, and values, they're the three basic building blocks to style HTML elements. The selectors target the HTML element you want to style. The properties define what aspect of the element you want to change, and the values are the settings that you are assigning to those properties. So if you had an H1, this is an example here. This would be either an embedded or an external, and we have the H1 is the selector, and then the properties are the color and the font size, and then the values that we're setting them to are blue and the 24 pixel. HTML elements versus CSS properties. So HTML elements use the attributes to define additional information in the name and value pairs. So H1, the ID equals test is giving the attribute that is the name of the attribute is ID, and the value is test. So the CSS properties, they use property value pairs, and the style rule includes a selector and a declaration of a property and a value. So H1, this is an example of either embedded or external. The H1 with the color purple, or inline would be the H1 element. We're setting the style, and then we've got the color, we're setting it to purple. And then in CSS, there is a box model, and it consists of the content, which is the text or the image. There's padding around that inside the border, then there's a border, and then there is margin outside the elements. And then to get an example of that, if you, whatever browser you're using, there is probably developer tools. This is Chrome, and you just would go to the upper right, and then you can select, I think I'll go show it in a minute here, but then that's how I got to this. And then if you go to like an element there, you could see the box model of that, and that would help you figure out if there's spacing and if you need more information on that to figure out that. So out here on MDN Web Docs, there is CSS styling basics. They have like tutorials. There's what is CSS. They have the box model is on MDN. And so there is information on here. And then they also advise using your developer tools to help, using browser developer tools to view the box model. And so this would be where you could come for more help with that. And this is Google Chrome, and this is the web page. I just expanded this to so I could see the box model there. But if we were to collapse that over, see that out here, you can actually see it responsive. If you make it the site bigger, what it's going to look like, or smaller. And right now, this isn't a fully responsive website, but we are working on it, getting there, because we're only on the 4th week. But in the upper right corner, there's 3 little dots. And then you would just go down to more tools. And then you would just go over to their developer tools. And that's how that comes up. And I just clicked that again, so it took it away because I was already in the developer tools. So this is what the site is that we're looking this week is what's going to change from what it looked like last week to this week, because we are adding image to the header. We're adding we're changing the navigation. So we're making some changes there with CSS. There is, let's see, about page. That page is not yet done this week, and neither is that one. Those come later. Same with FAQ, the contact window. It's still a basic contact page. There'll be more to that later. So this is Visual Studio Code, and this is the index.html file. Let's see. And then, so in HTML, you make the comments this way, which is you use different comments for CSS. And I will show you that in a minute. So here we're going to link the to the CSS file. We're going to have an external CSS file. So this we're adding to the head section, and we do that with the link. And then the relationship is that it's a style sheet. And then we give the href to it. And we're putting it inside a CSS file. So we're doing the folder, the CSS folder, and the uh, file is called styles.css. You could call it style.css. You could have a separate file that also you have more than one CSS file, but right now this is just the only one that we have, and it's styles.css. So we have made changes that in the header, the making it, we're using the anchor tag in the header, and the href is index.html. The source is going to be a picture and images. We have an image folder with the picture there, and then the alternate there. So it's going to link to that. So we go to About Us, and then I click on the picture. It took us back to the homepage. So if I go to About Us, so we're on the About Us. This is now if you click on there, it takes you to the index page. And the navigation, we're making it a unordered list, and then we have list items that are anchor tags that with the href going to the different HTML pages. And then the main div, and then the footer. So now the style.css, so it's in a folder. If you were in your, like, if say I went week before, I have a folder called rescue. If I wanted to make another folder, I could click here and make a CSS folder. I already have it. And then you could click here to make another file, the styles.css. Then, so this is the comment in CSS. So it could all be all on one line. If like this one, it's just going to be the / asterisk and then your comment, and it ends with the closing asterisk and / So it could cover multiple lines, or it could just be one line, but that's how you would comment it. And then you would, this is divided up into, so we are going to begin with resetting it. And the reason we do that is because the different browsers will have some default CSS settings that could change the way yours looks. So you always want to reset it first. You could reset it here, or you could reset it in a separate file. This we just reset here, and so we're just setting the margin, padding, and border all to 0, and we're setting it to a background color. That was all the reset was, margin, padding, border. Now, here is the style rules for the body and images. We have a background color, and then we have the images that we're going to do the max dash width of 100%, and the display is block. The navigation area, we set the background, and then we have the navigation, the un, unordered list. So this unordered list is only the navigation unordered list. If somewhere else we used an unordered list, these rules would not apply, because this is only for the navigation unordered list. So we are setting the list style to none. So there won't be any bullet points or anything. and the margin to 0, and the text align center. And then the list items are inline block. We're setting the display, the font size, the font family. We're giving it 3 different font families. So if it can't find one, it can use one of the other ones. So usually you want to give it some alternative ones. And then the font weight of bold, that it will show up as bold, which is different from the HTML. There is a bold that you can do in HTML, but this is the preferred way here in the CSS. If it needed to be in the HTML, you would want to use probably one of the other semantic elements that would be better for the screen readers than the bold. Then the navigation list items, the anchor tags. So we're just getting more specific here. So these are the anchor tags that are in the list item that are in the navigation. So it's very specific and how we're going to display the block, the color, the padding, and the text decoration is none. The main content, we're giving it padding, font family. In the main section, the paragraph elements, we're setting that font size in the main. The heading, 3, we're giving it padding atop a value. And then the main section, there's an unordered list. So it's just the main unordered list. If you had more than one, this is how they would all show up with the list style of square. So instead of the round bullets, it's going to use squares. Dot link, dot action, those are classes, and the number sign contact, that is an ID. So the contact is going to be in the contact form. We'll look at that. So that is getting very specific for these. We gave these certain things either a class. You would give it a class if the HTML element, a class if there's more than one that can be styled the same way, or if it's only an ID would be such as a contact, that's only one of those, nothing else. You would only have one, an ID is unique. Then we have rules for the footer and for the footer anchor. So in the contact, you can see we gave this div in the main section an ID of contact. And then let's see the about page. We gave the div ID. It has an ID there. And let's see, index. The div has an ID. That div has an ID. Thank you, and I will talk to you again next week.